I pulled up to our family ranch just outside of Austin, Texas. The gravel crunching under my tires like old memories I couldn't quite shake. It was a hot afternoon in late June, the kind where the sun beats down on the wide-open plains and makes everything shimmer. The house sat there like it always had, red brick with white shutters, a big wraparound porch, and that massive Texas flag flapping lazily from the pole out front. Balloons bobbed from the mailbox, and I could smell the mesquite smoke from the grill wafting over from the backyard. I'd driven 3 hours from my apartment in Dallas, wearing my favorite sundress, a soft blue one that hugged my figure just right. In my hand was a small gift bag, something thoughtful I'd picked up for Dad, a custom-engraved leather wallet with his initials and a quote about family bonds. Stepping out of the car, I felt that familiar knot in my stomach. Laughter echoed from behind the house, high and bubbly, the kind my sister Sarah always let out when she was holding court. I told myself this time would be different.
No expectations.
Just show up and be present. But as I walked up the porch steps, pushing open the screen door that creaked like it had for decades, the air inside hit me, barbecue sauce mixed with Mom's floral perfume. "Hey, kiddo," Dad said from the kitchen, not looking up from stacking beers in the cooler. "You're here early." I glanced at the clock. It was exactly 4 o'clock. Right on time. Mom rounded the corner, her eyes narrowing slightly at my dress. "Emily, that shade washes you out a bit. You should have gone with red." She gave me a quick hug, more pat than embrace, and I forced a smile. "Good to see you too,
Mom."
The living room was decked out, a banner strung across the mantel read, "Congrats, Sarah." Streamers, photos pinned up, all centered on her recent promotion to regional manager at that tech startup in Houston. Not a single balloon or card for me. My birthday. Our birthday. Twins. Born just minutes apart. But you'd never know it from the setup. I muttered under my breath. Guess it's not about us today. I set the gift bag on the side table, next to a stack of plates. No one noticed. An hour later, we all migrated to the backyard. The picnic table groaned under plates of brisket, coleslaw, and corn on the cob. Uncle Mike raised his glass first. To Sarah, for crushing it in the business world, finally someone in the family with real drive. Laughter rippled through the crowd. Dad clinked his bottle against it, beaming. I sat at the end of the table, picking at my food, nodding along to stories I'd heard a million times, waiting for anyone, to acknowledge the day. But nothing. Then Mom stood up, tapping her fork against her glass. "Let's head inside for a surprise." We filed in, and she fired up the projector. A slideshow flickered to life. Baby photos of Sarah in her cowgirl hat, family trips to the Grand Canyon, her high school graduation, where she was prom queen.
Me?
Blurry in the background or cropped out entirely. Even a shot from last year's 4th of July barbecue. I'd organized the whole thing. But there I was, just a hand passing a plate. Aunt Lisa leaned over. "Where are you in all this?"
Hun.
I shrugged with a tight smile. "Good question." My hands clenched under the table. Being invisible hurts more than being criticized. At least criticism means they see you. I excused myself to the hallway, breathing in the faint scent of sage from Mom's diffuser. Memories flooded back, me graduating valedictorian while Sarah was cheer captain. No party for me. Just a "that's nice" over dinner. I leaned against the wall, fighting the old resentment. Not today. Then I heard my name. "Is Emily still around?" Mom asked. "Probably in the bathroom," Sarah chirped. I stepped back in, composing myself. Approaching Mom quietly, I said, "You know it's my birthday too, right?" She waved it off. Honey, Sarah just landed that big deal. Let's keep the focus where it belongs. It stung like a slap. I'm not trying to steal the spotlight.
Just.
Remembered. A cousin nearby averted his eyes, but Mom just sighed. Don't be so dramatic.
Dramatic?
Neglect isn't dramatic, it's a slow erosion. I turned away, my boots clicking on the hardwood louder than necessary. In the kitchen,
My gift bay said on Tutsit.
Sarah's contribution, a fancy bottle of bourbon, was front and center, label gleaming. Of course. I opened my purse, fingers brushing a small notebook I'd brought just in case. I hadn't planned on using it tonight, but something inside me shifted. They won't remember this as my birthday, I thought. But it'll be the day I finally woke up. As the party dragged on, I wandered back out, watching from the edges. Sarah, in her stylish jeans and boots, regaled everyone with tales of her latest venture.
Wow.
Still doing the gift thing, Cousin Jake teased, bumping my shoulder. Sarah got Dad that top-shelf whiskey. He lit up like the 4th. I nodded, forcing a laugh. From across the yard, Dad held up the bottle. This is why she's the star, he boomed, not even whispering. The group chuckled, but it cut deep. I could have given him the world, and he'd still orbit her. Then came the cake, a massive sheet with chocolate frosting. Happy birthday. Sarah piped in gold. Cheers erupted as she blew out the candles. A few guests glanced my way, one murmuring, "Wait, isn't it Emily's too?" But it got lost in the applause. I slipped back inside, the shadows comforting. When they started slicing, I rejoined, smiling for photos, tasting the cake that should have been ours. You always hold it together so well, a family friend said.
Composed?
Try erased. Later, Aunt Karen pulled me aside. Sweetie, it's your day too, right? I smiled. We share everything. But inside, cracks formed. A name on a cake seems trivial until it's yours missing. As the night wound down, my gift still sat ignored. Ribbon askew. A smudge of sauce on the bag. I approached Dad by the grill. Got you something, I said, handing it over. He took it absently. Thanks.
Eminencia.
Then set it on a pile of napkins. No peek inside. Clarity hit like Texas heat. I said my goodbyes, polite as pie, and walked to my truck. The gift bag came with me. I wiped off the smudge in the cab, sat for a minute. I'd waited to speak up, but their silence said it all. Driving home under the starry sky, the ranch fading in the rearview, I felt a resolve build. Home in Dallas. I didn't flip on the TV or pour a drink. I needed facts. I set the gift on the counter, opened my laptop, and started a spreadsheet, family support log. Fingers flying. I pulled up bank statements. $500 for Dad's truck repairs. $1,200 for Mom's medical copay. $3,000 towards Sarah's startup seed money, the one she bragged about funding herself. The list grew. Each entry a reminder of pleas wrapped in guilt. Just this once.
Ink.
Until we're steady. They never studied. They leaned. It wasn't just money. That was the proof. I opened another tab, emotional ledger. Calls cut short because Sarah needed venting. My promotion email met with cool. Holidays nursing Dad post-surgery while Sarah couldn't make it. They had space only when they needed filler. Silence wasn't peace. It was a weapon. Emotional neglect wears you down like wind on sandstone. I wasn't plotting revenge, just no more blind giving in a family that tallied my worth by utility. Pausing, I wondered if this was scorekeeping. Maybe. But recalling the $1,500 I loaned Sarah for her car payment, thanked once, then spun as her hustle. It wasn't bitterness. It was awakening. Mom's complicity hurt worst, smiling through Dad's barbs like Emily's reliable, not flashy. She loved harmony more than fairness. This family-curated affection, selective. Shiny for Instagram. Never raw. I printed the sheets, added a note, time to balance, tucked into an envelope. Tomorrow, I'd deliver the truth. The next morning, I drove back to the ranch, the envelope sealed tight in my passenger seat. The Texas sun was already high, casting long shadows over the cactus-dotted fields. The house looked unchanged, flags still waving. Hedges trimmed, but it felt foreign now. I knocked, but no answer. The door was unlocked. That old Western hospitality masking indifference. Inside, the kitchen smelled of leftover smoke and coffee. Dishes piled in the sink, bottles recycled haphazardly. Laughter drifted from the backyard. I set the envelope on the counter, labeling it important read now. Peeking through the sliding door, I saw Dad holding court by the picnic table, beer in hand. Sarah beside him, grinning. Those freeloaders, he grumbled, sucking the system dry like leeches. Sarah nodded, chuckling. The irony burned. Who'd been supporting whom? I slid the door open. Dad turned, brow furrowed. Back already? I nodded. Left something inside. You need to see it. He waved it off. If this is about the birthday oversight, it's about 5 years of facts. I cut in.
Steady. He scoffed.
What? Tallying up old favors? Grow up. Emily. Sarah smirked. Always the dramatic one. Mom emerged from the house, glancing between us. Let's not argue. But I held firm.
No argument.
Just records. I pointed to the envelope. Dad grabbed it, ripping it open. The spreadsheets spilled out. Dates. Amounts.
Notes.
His face paled.
This
is everything. And more, I said. The house payments, medical bills, Sarah's independent ventures. Sarah snatched a page. You volunteered. We never forced you. Volunteered under pressure, I replied. Guilt trips disguised as family duty. Mom's eyes watered. Emily, we appreciate, do you? I asked. Or just when it's convenient? Silence fell. Dad crumpled a sheet. So what now? You sue us. I shook my head.
No.
I'm done propping you up. Refinance the house yourselves. Handle your bills. Sarah exploded. You're cutting us off? Over a birthday? Over years of being an afterthought, I said. I gave because I cared. You took because it was easy. I turned to leave, but Mom grabbed my arm. Please, let's talk. We are, I said. For once.
Outside.
I breathed deep, the prairie wind clearing my head. In my truck, another envelope waited. New beginnings.
Inside.
Apartment listings. A will draft removing them as beneficiaries. I wasn't erasing them. I was reclaiming me. 2 days passed in quiet. No calls.
No texts.
I woke to sunlight streaming into my Dallas kitchen. Coffee brewing. Checking my bank app. No changes, no refinance attempts. When control slips, silence isn't acceptance, it's strategy. I sorted through my things, finding an old jewelry box, a necklace I'd gifted Mom for her birthday. Empty now, except a faded note. Love. Emily. Memory hit, Sarah wearing something similar in her latest social media post. Crediting her style savvy. Not coincidence, casual theft. A text from my friend Mia. Isn't that your truck in Sarah's Insta? Screenshot attached. Sarah posing by Dad's pickup. Caption. Surprise upgrade for Dad. Couldn't do it without his guidance. Comments praised her generosity. Absurd. She'd reframed my gift as hers. I screenshot it. Not for spite, but evidence. That night, I drafted letters to utilities, removed my name from the ranch accounts. Sent to my lawyer with, "End all ties. Some bonds aren't untangled, they're severed." Next morning, Uncle Tom called. "Didn't know they relied on you so much. You always seemed so put together." "Put together doesn't mean unbreakable," I said. Hours later, a cousin messaged, "Your story resonates, seeing my own family in it." My voice was rippling out. Then Mom's voicemail. "Sharing this publicly? That's low. Emily." I didn't reply. Silence could be my tool now. I wasn't torching bridges, just stopping repairs on faulty ones. Afternoon. An envelope in my mail, no sender. Inside. A photo, backyard gathering. Everyone beaming. Me absent. Back scrawled. "Victim much?" I shredded it. They taught me to document. Now I'd use it wisely. Days later. Another oversight. A last-minute wedding invite from cousin Anna. Aunt confirmed. Sarah handled the list. Must have slipped her mind. I marked my calendar. No. If games continued, I'd sit out. Evening. A neighbor texted. "Saw your dad arguing in the driveway. Everything okay?" Didn't ask details. Then Sarah's public post seeking financial advice. No judgment. Screenshot saved. Truth settles quietly. Invited to speak at a women's empowerment meetup in Austin. I shared filtered truths, family financial traps, boundary setting. Silence costs more than speaking up. Attendees thanked me. I felt alone. You gave me strength. A local blog picked it up. Mom called, "Going viral with our dirt?" "It's my truth," I said. Hung up. Article aftermath. Sarah lost a sponsorship. Her post ranted about betrayers. No tag needed. Subtext clear. I let it fade. Truth defends itself. Met my lawyer. Laughed at progress. You're transformed. Had to be. Updated will. Friends and a charity for working moms inherited. No family. Choices define kin. Not blood. Sipping wine on my balcony. Peace settled. This freedom? Earned. A letter arrived, certified. You were right. Eyes open now. Dad's handwriting.
No sorry.
But acknowledgement. Enough. Folded it away, not for leverage. For reminder. Silence post-truth? That's healing. House hunting next. A cozy cabin near the hill country. With a porch overlooking rolling fields. Realtor. For a family? Mine, I said. Thanksgiving solo didn't daunt, it promised calm. No roles.
No tiptoeing.
Self-respect fills voids better than crowds. Friend reunion with old pal Jess. Shared stories over coffee. You named the unnamed pain. Toasted to full love. Not scraps. Started outlining a guidebook for overlooked givers. Tools for reclaiming voice. My story evolved from reaction to resource. Financial advisor reviewed. Sure about the will? Nodded. Removed family from emergencies. Anchored. Not adrift. Bookstore encounter. A woman recognized me from the blog. You saved me from toxic ties. Hugged tight. Survival echoes. Final papers bound. Estate severance. They voided love's contract, I thought. This is the legal echo. Parked at the courthouse. Ready for the meeting. The conference room at the law office in downtown Austin smelled of fresh coffee and polished wood, a far cry from the dusty ranch vibes. I stood by the window, overlooking the bustling streets where food trucks hawked tacos and live music spilled from bars. My attorney, MS.
Rivera.
Sat calmly, notes ready. At 10:15 sharp, they arrived, Dad in his faded Wranglers, Mom with her hair pinned neatly, Sarah in designer athleisure, arms crossed.
No greetings.
You won't interrupt, I said evenly. Just listen. I slid the envelope across. Final settlement. Mom opened it first, hands shaking as she scanned the notarized releases, financial uncoupling, asset retrieval checklist, a personal letter. Dad's face reddened. This is it? Cutting us loose like stray cattle. Sarah snorted. Selfish much? We were family until you played victim. I met her eyes. Family doesn't mean unlimited access. I held us up. You let me sink. The letter read aloud by Mom. I wasn't your disappointment. You taught me I didn't need your validation. Tears welled. Sarah slammed the table. You want hero status? Fine. But you funded my failures voluntarily.
No, y that.
Under the guise of duty. But law's clear, no obligation without consent.
MS. Rivera nadid.
All legal, no debts owed. Dad sighed. Emily, we messed up. But this, acknowledgement's a start, I said. But actions speak. Meeting adjourned. No drama. Just done. 3 days on. An email. Reprint request. A national mag wanted my anonymized story. Agreed. Headline. Funding Family Shadows. Breaking free from silent exploitation. It went viral. Unseen support trending. Messages flooded. Your words freed me. I see my story. Not alone anymore. Spoke at a Dallas summit for family dynamics. Loyalty isn't blind. Worth isn't loaned. Ended with applause. In the crowd?
Mom.
Standing. Nodding silently. Past her without words. Closure, not confrontation, but choice. Weeks later. Small shifts. Dad texted. Refinancing started. Thanks for the push. Sarah's post. Reflective. Admitting overlooked contributions. No direct apology, but growth hints. I replied neutrally. Progress matters. Met a support group for adult children of dysfunctional families, shared, listened. One member's tale mirrored mine. Funding siblings. Emotional voids. Boundaries heal, I said. Formed bonds. Real kin by choice. House closing. Keys to my hill country retreat. Unpacked boxes under golden sunsets. Hung photos of my journeys, not family albums. First night. Journaled. Freedom isn't absence, it's presence with self. Article Ripple. Invited to podcast on financial independence. Spoke candidly. Law protects boundaries, use it. Listeners resonated. Mom called post-air. Proud. In my way. Thanks, I said. Bridge mending.
Slowly.
Cousin gathering. Attended warily. Sarah approached. Truce? We talked, raw.
Honest.
I took without seeing, she admitted. I gave without asking, I replied. Hugged tentatively. Not fixed. But forward. Dad's health scare. Minor. But I visited hospital. Appreciate you, he grumbled. Always did. Just poorly shown. Nodded. Show better. Helped with paperwork legally. Not blindly. Book deal offer. Unseen providers. Reclaiming your story. Outline chapters on legal steps. Emotional tools. Writing healed. Holiday approached. Invited them to my place. Neutral ground. They came, awkward at first. Shared meal. Stories.
No oversalts.
Toast. To learning. Light lesson. Families evolve with effort. Reflected on porch. Pain birthed growth. Article's message. Forgive, but fortify boundaries. Peace and balance. The journey taught me that revenge corrodes, but release restores. In the vast western skies, I found space for grace, not forgetting, but forwarding with wisdom. Law clarified rights, heart mended ties selectively. Article closed. Family isn't fate, it's forged. Months rolled by like tumbleweeds across the plains. My cabin became home, morning coffee on the porch, watching deer graze under live oaks. Work thrived, promotion at my marketing firm, crediting my personal growth. Blog evolved into a community hub, moderating forums on family finance ethics. One post, legal lowdown, when to cut ties. Cited U.S. laws on gifting versus loans, emphasizing documentation. Readers shared wins, removed from parents' mortgage free at last. Sarah reached out more, coffee in Austin. Starting therapy, she said. Saw how I overshadowed. I nodded. We both played roles. Bond rebuilding. Brick by brick. Not twins in sync, but sisters in progress. Dad's refinance cleared, texted thanks. Helped him budget via app.
No handouts.
Proud of your independence, I said. He chuckled. Learned from the best. Mom's sent care package. Homemade jam. Note. Miss our talks. Called her. Chatted recipes. Memories. Light. No deep dives yet. Support group became lifeline. Hosted meetups at a local diner. Stories flowed. Abusive dynamics. Financial drains. Your vulnerability inspires, one said. Partnered with a nonprofit for workshops. Boundaries 101. Taught red flags. Legal recourse like POA's revocation. Book writing intensified. Drafts shared with editor. Chapter on Western resilience, drawing from ranch life metaphors, fencing pastures for protection. Included anecdotes. My birthday oversight as catalyst. Goal, empower, not expose. Family visit. Barbecue at my place. Dad grilled. Mom salads.
Shada Paulelit.
Laughed over old photos, including me prominently. Toast. To fresh starts. Felt genuine. Post-dinner. Private chat with Dad. Regret the favoritism. Water under the bridge, I said. But let's flow better. Hugged real. Not wrote. Viral stories anniversary. Interviewed on national radio. Lesson. Humanity and accountability. Callers related. Helped me forgive myself. Ripple effect humbling. New romance. Met Alex at a hiking group. Teacher. Kind eyes. Shared stories slowly. Your strength's magnetic, he said. Dates under stars. No family baggage dominating. Holiday season. Blended traditions. Hosted Thanksgiving. Family plus friends. Balanced.
Joyful.
Sarah gifted personalized journal for your next chapter. Reciprocated with her favorite book on self-growth. Reflected yearly. Pain's purpose, growth. Article's core. Revenge fades. Redemption endures. In Western vastness. Space for all, healing included. Community event. Spoke at library. Young woman approached. Your words stopped my cycle. Hugged. Impact profound. Book launch neared. Cover reveal. Sunrise over ranch. Symbolizing dawn. Dedication. To those unseen be seen. Family attended preview reading. Mom teared. Beautiful. Dad nodded approval. Sarah inspiring. Unity. Earned. Lesson light. Families falter. but with empathy and boundaries, they flourish. My story, From Shadow to Light. The book hit shelves, Shadows to Sunrise, Navigating Family Ties in the American West. Reviews praised, heartfelt, practical, a guide for the overlooked. Signings in Austin, Dallas, lines formed. One reader, changed my life. Donated proceeds to family counseling charities. Sarah's career pivot, started nonprofit for sibling equity. Collaborated on panel, Healing Dynamics. Shared stage, stories complementing. Audience Q&A, How to Forgive. Start with self, I said. Then extend grace. Dad retired partially. We fished at local lake. Missed this, he admitted. Priorities skewed.
We all learn, I replied.
Bond strengthened through actions, calls, visits.
No asks.
Mom joined book club, discuss mine first. Saw my blind spots, she confessed over tea. Proud mother now. Emotional thaw complete. Alex proposed under Hill Country stars, simple ring. Profound promise. Wedding small, family included. Roles equal. Vows. To see and support fully. Years on kids? Maybe. But family redefined, chosen circle wide. Annual ranch reunion. Balanced celebrations.
No oversights.
Viral origin faded. Impact lingered. Mentored others. Document. Detach. But leave door cracked for growth. Final reflection. Birthday betrayal sparked fire. Not destruction. Illumination. Lesson. Humanity triumphs when revenge yields to understanding. In Western spirit, resilient, open we thrive. The end wasn't abrupt. It evolved. A letter from a reader. You taught me families can mend. Replied. With effort. Yes.
Peace profound.
Story complete.